Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about the zodiac signs, especially the water zodiac signs. So we're going to divide them by elements and we're going to talk about how each zodiac sign represents that element in their own way. So basically the 12 zodiac signs, they are divided into the four elements. We have water, fire, air and earth. And the first element that is created in the universe is water. So it's said that Lord Vishnu, he the water was the first element. It came out of his belly button and it filled up as an ocean around him, and that's how you usually see Lord Vishnu lying on a serpent in the ocean. So that's the first element that is created. That's water, and we have three zodiac signs under that element. One is Cancer, second is Scorpio, and third is Pisces. Now, there are differences in the type of water energy that each zodiac sign represents. So, for example, we have water bodies. So, if you look around, what kind of water do you see in the nature? And you will see you have different kinds of water available, or you see water in different states or naturally in different water bodies, and each of those represent each of these three zodiac signs: Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So we're trying to understand the element and its different forms and how it expresses itself through the zodiac. And meanwhile, we're also trying to understand the zodiac sign through the element. Okay, so the first zodiac sign, Cancer, it represents the river. So the river is usually the mainstream flow of water. So uh, all the rivers in the world represent Cancer. Okay, so all the rivers you will see in India, they're all named after a woman, right? So Narmada, Saraswati, um, Ganga, Yamuna, all these rivers are named. Most of all rivers are named, at least in India, they're named after a woman, right? So the reason this is because kinetic flow of energy is feminine. Okay, so kinetic energy is feminine. Whenever energy moves, and usually energy is always seen as water. Even money is seen as water. That's why we uh, call current asset. It's money, right? It's a financial term. It's current. So there are two types of. There's a current asset. There's a fixed asset. A current asset is like cash you have in your wallet that you can just give to someone and it's gone because it's flowing. It's kinetic. So energy is just like money, and usually it's represented like water because it's chanchal, it is kinetic. So just like money, it comes from one hand, it goes with other. You make profits, you have expenses, right? So, and it's always feminine. Even money is represented by the feminine um, deity. So, for example, Ma Lakshmi, which represents finances or money, she is also feminine, and she's also known to be very chanchal. Uh, in Hindi, it means kind of unstable, not staying in one place. And Mahalakshmi is like she's the highest value woman, so she won't stay anywhere where she's not respected or anything, right? So if in any household, women are abused or mistreated, Mahalakshmi does not stay in that house for too long if you do not keep the house clean or whatever. And this is a Vastu thing, but that's how she is. Same thing happens. So it's kinetic flow, and that's what women are usually seen as. So money and water itself is like that. Water likes to keep flowing, and especially river keeps flowing, right? So that is the Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by one of the feminine planets, Moon, which represents the mother, right? In planet in astrology, and the Moon also represents water, right? So Moon rules Cancer, and it will show the kinetic flow of energy. And usually, in nature, you will see it's the reverse, the kinetic flow. And, the water body that is usually considered as a river, which keeps flowing. and usually is considered the mainstream flow where water goes from the source to the destination. Now, the source and destination are different than the river. Okay, so that's one thing. Cancer represents rivers, and just just to give you a little bit more insight, we talked about money, right? So money is the same thing. We call it currency, right? Currency is basically the current sea, the current water, where So like I said, water is like energy. Any liquid form of thing is it's kinetic energy. So water has all those things. So in a river, around a river you see bank, we call it river banks. So just like money is controlled by banks, when you go to a bank, you save your money, you get money is controlled by banks. Similarly, rivers control the flow of uh, the river is controlled by the banks. That's the river banks. So these terminologies are very important to understand. But yeah, this that's a different thing. You can also understand legal terms and everything from that. But astrologically, to understand the element, understand that Cancer zodiac sign represents the river water body. Now, moving on to the next one, which is a little bit harder to understand. So, there are two zodiac signs in all of the 12, which are known as the two darker signs of the zodiac. Okay, and these two are Aquarius and Scorpio. So, why they are called the darkest signs of the zodiac, and I'm gonna make a different video on this, title as the darkest signs of the zodiac, and I'm going to keep it separate because that's going to take another 10-20 minutes probably. So I'm going to talk about them differently. But the thing with water element is that Scorpio is a water element, but it's also intense like fire. And same thing with Aquarius. Aquarius in the word itself has aqua and is also represented by a water bearer, a person holding a pot, um, an earthen pot which has water, usually a colossal giant man, and he's pouring that water down on earth from the skies. So it is an air sign, but it has aqua in it. So it's actually representing waters up there, waters up above. So that's Aquarius. So Aquarius is the fourth sign, which represents the fourth water body, and I'll talk about that in the end. But yeah, the first water sign is Cancer and it represents river. Okay. Now the second one, I'm gonna skip the second one because it's also a little bit hard to understand. And we're gonna jump to the third water sign, which is Pisces. So Pisces, like I said, if Cancer, the river body, is the flow from source of water to destination, then the destination is Pisces. Because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac and is the last sign, is the last water sign. Okay, so Pisces usually represents the ocean where water collects. Okay, so you can say from the source, water comes and it's rivers, it goes everywhere, it circles around the world, and in the end, it goes to the ocean. So, seas and oceans where water collects is ocean, the Pisces. Okay, so that's the water body that Pisces represents. So it's the ocean where fish and the whole aquatic life completely is stable, not in a kinetic form. It obviously it's water, so it moves around, it has waves and everything, but it is the destination of water because water will always flow to the, whichever, wherever there's area to flow, water will flow downwards like that. So wherever it collects, it becomes a lake or an ocean. So usually an ocean is basically wherever like water goes to in the end. Okay, so that's the Pisces. That's oceans or seas wherever water reaches as a final destination or collects downwards. Now we'll come back to the second zodiac sign, the second water zodiac sign, which is Scorpio. Now the reason I skipped Scorpio and kept it for the last is because one, it is one of the darker signs of the zodiac and harder to understand. Okay, so with Cancer and Pisces, it's very easy to understand that Cancer is just river and Pisces is just, the destination where water goes to. Now, where is Scorpio in between all this? Okay, So Scorpio is the zodiac sign of transformation. Okay, so what happens here is um, all the water bodies that are very kinetic or very deep or very not easily seen are Scorpio. So, for example, rain. When rain falls, it's it has thunder, lightning, and all that. So that Scorpio is fire and water. It's two elements mixed because one ruler is Mars, which is fire, fiery planet. Another ruler is Ketu, which is a shadow planet. That's why Scorpios go deep. So Scorpio is hard to understand. Okay, so and it represents transformation in so much. It has emotions like water, but it's intense like fire. So basically, why this is because um, if you know about deities or mythology, deities are usually you will see gods. Okay, what we generally say gods in the western part of the world are devatas in our mythology. Okay, they are not the god. Okay, in all the Abrahamic religions, there is a God, the creator God, and mostly that is the height of what they understand about God or creation or the world in that sense, in their mythology. And then below that they have the the Son of the God, so the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and they have that. But in our mythology, we have a higher understanding of that as well. So there's a God which is above the creator God. Okay, so we have Lord Brahma, but we have someone who created Brahma himself. Okay, so all the Abrahamic religions, Abraham, Brahma, it's the same word, and Brahma is the creator, Brahman is the universe, the Brahman is the human created. That's how it works. So that's the God. This is a little bit sideline or sidetracked thing that we're talking about God, but um, just to explain, like, the hierarchy, what a god in the English language means. So a god is an elemental deity. So for example, gods like Zeus or Poseidon, right? Or Ares. Ares is it's a zodiac sign, but Ares is also god of war, right? So these are this is Greek mythology, right? And then we also have Scandinavian where we have Thor. Okay, so and in our uh, Vedic mythology we have Indra. So Zeus, Thor, and Indra, these three, they represent the same deity, the same devta, and that is what God, the word God stands for. Okay, which is not even the creator God. This is the elemental God. Okay, it's not even like Brahma level. So the hierarchy is a little bit lower than that. Okay, uh, the stage below the creator, and these elemental gods are um, they represent elements, but they have their own features about it. So, for example, there is Varuna, which is Poseidon basically. So, Varuna represents waters everywhere, not just on Earth, space or up waters up above there. Like I said, Aquarius. Varuna represents that. Then we have Agni. Agni is again a elemental devata, and he represents fire. Then we have Indra. So Indradev is someone who represents fire and water. So he's a mixed, usually what's called a Mishra, mixed elemental deity, and he represents fire and water, but both in kinetic form. And you will see that stelliums or nakshatras in every zodiac sign, they have their own connection with mythology or the deities. So how it works is zodiac signs are ruled by planets, but nakshatras are ruled by deities. And what happens here is that they're also associated with planets, associated, but rulers are always the deities. So you will see that in the Scorpio zodiac sign, there are three nakshatras. One is Vishakha, second is Anuradha, and third is Jeshta. Two of these nakshatras, which are Vishakha and Jeshta, they are ruled by Indra. So Vishaka is ruled by Indra Agni, which is some say Indrani, the wife of Lord Indra, and some say the mixture of Indra and Agni. And then Jeshta is ruled by Indra himself. Okay, so how it works is that Indra is again like Zeus is the same deity. Thor again is the same. Okay, have they are the god of rain and thunder or lightning. Okay, so that's the is the same deity. So Indra is someone, like I said, two elements, but both in kinetic form. So you see rain. Rain is the same thing. It is water, but flowing, raining down in kinetic form. And it is also fire, which is the lightning, but in liquid or kinetic form. So liquid fire is lightning, right? So that's what uh, Indra is the god of. So Indra is very connected to the zodiac sign of Scorpio, right? So you will see how, you know, the rain is one of the water bodies that come under the Scorpio uh, group or zodiac sign. So rains are Scorpio, lakes. Okay, so lakes are just like Pisces where water collects, but it can be rainwater that is collecting, not water that came from the source and traveled through the rivers and then reached. So that is that little detail difference is there. So like lakes or ponds, they are a little bit different. Okay, so they also come under Scorpio. Then underground water. Again, Scorpio is a deep, dark zodiac sign. You have to do deep, like things like deep research or finding inner depth or truth. That kind of thing is there with Scorpio. So groundwater is also Scorpio. So like many things are Scorpio, and like the most important part is since we talked about Brahma, the creator, he you will see usually is sitting on a lotus. Okay, now this is another whole video or topic that I can talk about, but we don't have the time right now, and it's much better if I talk about that some other time. But you will see that in our mythology or whatever, the flower of lotus, the lotus flower is very sacred and it represents creation. So you will see these flowers, especially like lotus, it always comes from swampy areas like dirty waters. Okay, so that is again the swamp like waters are against Scorpio, right? So Scorpio is the zodiac sign where death, life, rebirth, transformation, all these things happen. So out of the basically even you can say gutters or you know in a building you have the plumbing, that is also Scorpio, because you see in the body there is the like our genitals is actually Scorpio. So the human body is also divided into zodiac signs, and our genitals have two roles. One is reproduction, sex and everything, where life is formed. Okay, so your energies go down there and you have sex and reproduction happens. So that death and rebirth type of thing or transformation, that is Scorpio. Okay, that's why you will also hear people talking about like Scorpios invented sex or something like that. And then the other thing that the genitals do is basically getting rid of waste through you know to like pee, so the urine comes out of. So that's also the plumbing part like I talked about. So that is also Scorpio. So all the waters that like I said, groundwaters, plumbing, gutters, all these places where water is there is also Scorpio. Okay, so especially now swamps, because that swampy waters, dirty waters is where life creation happens, and lotuses come from and all that. So that is also important. So now we've understood that Cancer is like the mainstream flow of water, rivers. That is one water body. Then we have all the other water bodies which do not fit into the Cancer or the Pisces. Pisces is the destination, the ocean or the sea, okay, where water collects in the world. Everything else, okay, is Scorpio. Mostly, like almost everything except the source, every other water body you will see will be Scorpio, whether it's groundwater, whether it's rain, whether it's evaporated water, even because again, heat is like fire and water thing. So all these water bodies are Scorpio water bodies. They all come under Scorpio because Scorpio is that complex. And the reason why it is complex is because it has co-rulers, which I will discuss in the why it's the darker sign of the zodiac. And the other darker sign of the zodiac, Aquarius, is the source of where water comes from. Okay, so we have the source Aquarius. Then we have the water signs Cancer, which represents the mainstream flow of the river. Scorpio, where all the other water bodies are there. Um, Gutters, swamps, rain, even like you can see iceberg and everything comes under Scorpio only. Okay, um, all the in naturally, and we're just talking about natural occurrences, natural water bodies that you see in nature. Okay, so that is Scorpio. Everything else, and then the ocean, water collects, oceans and seas. That is Pisces. So that's all I think is needed to be said about water bodies in the water zodiac signs. There's a lot more here, which maybe I'll make a part two about this, about just to discuss certain more points if I feel like I missed out on explaining something. As of now, I think this is enough for the water zodiac signs mostly and the water bodies. Now, coming to the other zodiac signs, I might not make a video because there's no such thing as a fire body, but I could try. If something does come to me, I will try. It's just that I thought about water bodies a lot because I am a Scorpio, and more importantly, I like to divide. So zodiac signs are like groups, sets of groups of energies and stuff. So, like I said, the body is also divided into, so the prefrontal cortex, our face and the head above in the front is Aries. Then the back and the jaw and the neck is Taurus, right? And then shoulders is Gemini, and so on. I'll make a different video, shorter video about that later on. But the inner organs, not just the outside, they are given a set of groups and they are divided into the zodiac signs. So maybe that also I will talk about in future. As of now, this is all I have to offer. So thank you for tuning in and checking this out. I hope you guys got something new to hear about. And if you have any questions or anything you would like to share, please you can just comment or get in touch with me. I have my Instagram link and I think I even have my mail in my account's bio. So thank you for watching again. See you next time.